Welcome to Caribbean American News Media State of the Nation with Garfield Oliver. The news you report. Let's get to work. Welcome to Caribbean American News Media State of the Nation with Garfield Oliver. The news you report. Let's get to work. Welcome to Caribbean American News Media State of the Nation with Garfield Oliver. The news you report. Let's get to work. Welcome to Caribbean American News Media State of the Nation with Garfield Oliver. The news you report. Let's get to work. Welcome to Caribbean American News Media State of the Nation with Garfield Oliver. The news you report. Let's get to work. Welcome to Caribbean American News Media State of the Nation with Garfield Oliver. The news you report. Let's get to work. Welcome to Caribbean American News Media State of the Nation with Garfield Oliver. The news you report. Let's get to work.
Responsible for the content posted by its contributors.
Welcome to Caribbean American News Media State of the Nation with Garfield Oliver. The news you report. Let's get to work.
Welcome to the Caribbean American News Media Show, your premier destination for in-depth coverage, engaging discussions, and entertaining segments showcasing the rich tapestry of Caribbean American culture. Join us as we explore a wide range of topics, from current events and community spotlights to arts, music, cuisine, and more. Our show features exclusive interviews with influencers, artists, community leaders, and everyday heroes who are making a difference in the Caribbean American community. Stay informed and inspired with our thought-provoking segments that highlight the diversity, resilience, and creativity within our community. Tune into the Caribbean American News Media Show for a captivating blend of news, entertainment, and storytelling that celebrates the Caribbean American experience. Get ready to discover new perspectives, celebrate successes, and connect with the heartbeat of the Caribbean American community. Don't miss a moment of the action. Stay tuned to Caribbean American News Media Show for an immersive viewing experience like no other. Hashtag Caribbean American News, hashtag show, hashtag cultural celebration.
Malwat, why them Lucian so make them this? Sui pui, some 2.5% HCSL thing is a tax vibe. So what that have to do with people getting meg? But just now, to me them people paying VAT already. Exactly. The tax is calculated on the cost of goods, so one time the price go increase, Kuma. The Lucians end up paying more than 15%. Mama! Gasa, just imagine $100 go buy less groceries. People getting poor. Things like rent and utility bills go also increase, Gasa. Real Malawi vibe? All them things the people doing to stay healthy, like gym, healthy eating, and safety and security, go be harder to get because people ain't have money. Partner, if them people ain't have enough money, they ain't go have leftover food for us to eat. The bins go be empty. Wow!
Things real happening to them, Lucianzi. Look out for us again soon. We go show you all more. Malwat.
Greetings to all. Welcome to Caribbean American News Media Platform. Yes, my friends, it is 7:08 p.m. here in our studio. And as I always say to you, somewhere else, somewhere out there in the world, it is another time and another place. Greetings to all. Welcome to Caribbean American News Media Platform, folks. We're happy to be here with you tonight on a beautiful evening. Thank you for preparing your snacks and everything else that you would need for our program tonight. Again, welcome all. We have a slight delay on the GVD channel. We will be on in the next 20 minutes on the GVD channel. There is a scheduled broadcast that is in progress now, and so we made a decision that we're going to go live on all the other platforms, and we will connect with the GVD platform that is channel 115 a little later on. That is at around maybe the next 15 to 20 minutes. We should be up on that channel there. So greetings to all. We are live on Facebook and our Caribbean American News Media YouTube channel platform, and we are, all our monitors are up and we are ready for tonight. We'll be using a lot of graphics, and therefore we hope that you would bear patient with us. We will be taking you 13 years back in time, and we'll be talking about Mr. Frederick's last broadcast and some stuff that I heard that have me concerned, and that is the truth. I'm very concerned concerning that broadcast on Thursday evening. I also popped into the St. Lucia Labour Party's town hall meeting there in Dennery South, and also a little concern with what I am hearing out of that platform there in Dennery, especially from our health minister, Mr. Moses Jean-Baptiste. Greetings again, and share the live, Tiger friend. As soon as we get over to the hundreds, then we shall start officially Caribbean American News Media. Bear with us. Share the live and tag a friend. Away we go with Caribbean American News Media. We're just loading our program for the night. You'll be hearing a lot of clicking tonight. That is just me and our folks. We're back and forth adding new clips to the platform so that we can keep you informed. All right, we do not want to overload the system. That's why we did not. That's just the truth. We did not upload all the clips into our system. It was something a decision that had to be made in order to preserve the set, preserve the broadcast, the system, so we would not have an overload. So tonight we will go into the bouillon of the whole matter, and in my opening segment I am going to have a conversation that is necessary. So please share the live and tag a friend, okay? Just bear with me as we once I get this part of the broadcast set up, then we will be we'll be broadcasting on all cylinders, okay? So let me just set this up first of all. Now, St. Lucians, I'm hoping that you're doing well and that your soul is prospering, that your new year has started on a good note. I'm praying that, okay? So, apart from that, many of us would have been privy to the many attacks on citizens of St. Lucia by the St. Lucia government, that is the St. Lucia Labour Party government, their government minister, that is Mr. Richard Frederick. Most of you would have heard, you would have seen, some of you were front stage. A matter of fact, you would have been exposed to a lot of personal information. Individuals doing business with the government of St. Lucia through one of their agencies woke up on Friday morning to their personal discussions, their personal documents being exposed by the government of St. Lucia. And the reason why I'm saying to you that it is the government of St. Lucia, Mr. Frederick is a member of cabinet. Mr. Minister, Mr. Frederick is part of government of St. Lucia. He is a minister with the responsibility of housing and I believe local governments or government. So what I am saying here to you, friends, is that we are speaking of a government minister. The leader of our government is Mr. Philip J. Pear. The party that is in governance, it is the St. Lucia Labour Party. Okay? So, citizens of St. Lucia woke up on Friday morning, especially those who do not follow Mr. Frederick's live, okay? Just bear with me, folks. We are going to go live on our GVD TV channel 115 at this time. Bear with us. All right, we want to welcome our viewers over on GVD TV channel 115. Thank you so much for being here with us on the broadcast. Tonight we're going back into 13 years of records concerning statements made by the St. Lucia Labour Party against Mr. Frederick, healthcare, crime, and a whole other issues that did exist in the nation. So thank you so much for being here with us. And so we get right into our broadcast tonight. Okay, my friends. So I'm saying to you that individuals who would not really follow Mr. Frederick's live, or maybe they're not too into the social media thing, or they're not interested in those type of stuff, would have gotten calls or texts, or maybe someone would have met them in the Castries Basin or somewhere and said to them, we saw your personal documents on national TV, and I am sure the individuals would have been shocked. They would be like, what are you talking about? Who did it? And I'm sure the person would have said to them, well, Richard, expose your business. And I'm sure the person would not say, well, the government of St. Lucia did it. But the right thing to do is to say to St. Lucians or the individual that it is the government of St. Lucia that have exposed your documents or your communications with an agency on Thursday night. So I'm no longer going to sit here and say to you that it was Richard Frederick. I will say to you that it is the government of St. Lucia. Call it what it is. Because he's a member of a member of the House. He has the portfolio of housing, local governments. And many, and this is not the first time, folks, that this gentleman have been exposing private transactions with private citizens, between private citizens and government agencies. Housing is part of government. It's a government agency. So, transactions was made in December by a family in the country. And oh, my friends, those private transactions ended up being broadcast on national TV. And by the way, while that is happening, we have the St. Lucia Labour Party in Dennery South saying to Dennery, everything is fine. It is a bunch of losers who are talking about bad health care and are doing nastiness. It is those UWPs who are attacking SLPs. That's what is being said right now. And not only that, they're saying to you that everything that went wrong in St. Lucia and is still going wrong in St. Lucia, it is Alan Shastney and the United Workers' Party. They are now blaming the healthcare crisis that they called nothing to see here. They're accusing the United Workers' Party, the former government, they could not get medication because UWP left a bill. And while they're saying this to you, they're telling you, well, we have little issues, And, doctors didn't renew their contracts because we give them all that they wanted, everything they asked for. The Prime Minister gave it to them, but they didn't renew their contract. That's what we're being told now. We're being told that Starbatch, Mr. Prosper, he is the best of the best that we have ever seen in the nation when it comes to agriculture. And Mr. Sean Edwards went an extra mile to say to St. Lucians that the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, this government is the best government in the Caribbean. This is not a joke. That's what they're saying down there in Dennery right now. Now I'm trying to find out, why are they in Dennery? What is happening in Dennery? Anybody have any idea what is going on in Dennery? Is it that the farmers are complaining? Is it that the people of Dennery are complaining? And not only Dennery, the farmers in the country. What is happening, folks? And so they're right now in Dennery saying to you that all the health problems that we have but we don't have was done caused by the United Workers' Party. And not only that it is caused by them, they left a good hospital, and close to elections, they build a fake hospital with no roof. And they say to you that we have a hospital. Folks, I have been monitoring the building of this hospital. I've been monitoring the United Workers' Party during that process, during COVID. Nowhere did I ever hear the past government, the United Workers' Party government, saying to St. Lucians that, look, we have a brand new hospital, it's finished, and we can just move in now. I never heard that. But they're saying, the Labour Party, they're saying in Dennery, that we build a building, we abandon the beautiful building that needed chemical just to wipe down the dust, and we just move in. Well, that same building, friends, have cost the government of St. Lucia millions of dollars with years of months of construction. And they're saying that this year it is going to be done. Now remember, they are almost 4 years into office, and they said to you that all the hospital needed was some chemical. So they wanted Mr. Shastney to just get the chemical, wipe the building down, and move the people in. Ignore all the reports. Ignore the mismanagement of the project. Ignore all the monies that have been just going up in smoke or cement. So they say to you that the United Workers' Party government just put some stuff together and give you a building without a roof and lie to you, basically, and say to you that there is a new hospital in Vieux-Fort. But they're in Dennery convincing people in red only that everything is fine in the nation, that we have done more we are the best in the West. Now, in doing so, what they're doing is that they're throwing Mr. Kenny Anthony under the bus. Mr. Anthony now, for them, is the worst. And I take it as an attack on Kenny Anthony when they say to you that no other government in the history of St. Lucia have done anything like what they are doing for the police force. Do you understand what is happening there? It sounds to me like the Kenny Anthony fraction and the Philip J. faction of the party. That sounds to me like confusion. Because if you look at Kenny Anthony and you look at Mr. Philip J. Pear, you would discover that Kenny Anthony is much better than Philip J. Pear. Yes, he made a lot of mess in the country. But how can you in a party say to the faithful that we are the best government and we have done more? Matter of fact, we are the best in the whole Caribbean. And that is telling me that you folks are tone deaf. You are not hearing the people, because the last time I checked, there's a whole lot of people who can't get a bed at the hospital, can't get medication. There is no gloves, no masks. There is no supplies at our hospitals. But you are saying to the people, everything is fine. We give you all free health care. The elderlies, and we will bring it down from 80. We'll change the age soon so that everybody can get free health care and free medicine. We have given everybody free medicine. And shockingly, what I heard tonight from the health minister is that the government of St. Lucia signed a deal with Mr. King so that we can get scans and all. He has all the machines for scanning and services, and we have a contract with him to provide those services. Can you imagine? The government of St. Lucia is giving one of their camarads a sweetheart deal with medical imaging machines that should be in a hospital, that should be not subcontracted, but should be readily available at all our hospitals. They say, well, we sign a contract. And that's what they're saying to you in Dennery. And the folks are clapping and everything is fine with health care, while their own families and their neighbors are catching hell and high waters to get medical care at any of the medical institutions. They are in Dennery tonight telling you, St. Lucians, that all is well and everything, any problem you have is chastening at us. And they called us a bunch of losers keeping noise, basically. So when you speak about your health problems, your challenges at the hospital, they're saying to you that, it's just basically just disgruntled flabos speaking. So if you can't get a bed, medication, services, you don't have money, and blah, 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 in healthcare, don't worry about it. It's not our fault, it's their fault. Now, what they're not saying to the people, they're saying, well, they left a bill for us, but nobody is saying that. They left the bill coming out of COVID. We had nothing going on, no money, no income, and so the government had to get medication from in advance from suppliers, and so the bills were there to be paid. Nobody is saying that. But they're making you believe that this government of the United Works Party was so unprofessional, careless, didn't love the people, didn't care about the people, and so they were just borrowing monies for healthcare, not paying the people. They're bad debtors, they're taking monies and supplies from the people, and they're not. That's what you're hearing, basically. Nobody is saying, well, as a result of COVID-19, of course, we had hotels, we had medicines, we had respirators, we had to get masks and all kind of story, and hand sanitizers. We had to get expensive stuff in the country to protect the citizens of St. Lucia. Nope. This is called misleading the citizens of the country. And I heard with my own ears, these fellas are saying, well, the first time they see an opposition in opposition for 2 years and they don't see any path of winning any elections. Folks, That's the propaganda that you're going to get. It is started. And now, Mr. Sean said, we are no longer protecting the victory. We are securing the victory now. So they're no longer protecting the victory. They are seeking another victory to protect. Now, I am not sure if they did a good job in protecting this last victory here. But a whole lot of people during the protecting of the victory had to spend thousands of dollars on their vehicles while they were protecting the victory. A whole lot of families lost their loved ones at our hospitals while they are protecting the victories. A lot of families suffer. And now they're coming back to the people to say, give us another victory. And if I were the people, I would ask you for you to do what? Protect the victory again and not us? Huh? When you have a government minister exposing businesses with the people's transaction between government agencies. And no one is safe, you know. Nobody is safe. Whether you're a vendor, nobody is safe in the country. So let me just say this, folks. I believe this is a time for national unity when it comes to the truth and when it comes to exposing these atrocities, the atrocities in the healthcare system and on our roads and with crime. We must have a national movement. All of us must speak. From the same platform with unity so that we can help to guard the minds of a vulnerable people, because the rum and chicken is going to start soon. And we must constantly unite, and we must stand on the platform of truth, not dishonesty, on truth when we speak. And there are a whole lot of families, like I said, who are victims of our hospitals and our roads and crime. And there's nothing you can do to erase that from their minds. Nothing at all. Because what these people are feeling in the country, it is what they're feeling. And no matter what you say to them in Dennery that they're not feeling what they're feeling, and you try to convince them that they're not feeling what they're feeling, then I will say to you, we need a united voice to combat this type of propaganda, misinformation, blatant lies to the people of this country. So, listen to this. The Labour Party supporters are trying to say to Flabos that Flabos are trying to attack and assassinate, verbally assassinate the character of a preacher, a godly man, the best politician in the history of the nation, that the Flabos are trying to stain his character and to mess up a good man, the Flabos. Now, who is accusing the Flabos? It is the St. Lucia Labour Party supporters. You would never believe this, folks, but this is happening before your eyes. And I'll tell you something about propaganda. If you are not careful with propaganda, you start rethinking stuff. You start trying to figure out, wait a minute, was I asleep? Is this real? Is this a mirage? Was I really alive? Was I dreaming when this SLP was saying to us that Mr. Frederick is the worst thing on the earth and the worst thing that have come into our politics? They told us to fire him. They went to the embassy in Barbados to get rid of him. They told the Flabos that this man was not worthy of being in their government. They are the ones. Folks, can you imagine that today the same SLPs are saying to us, leave their good guy alone? Now, I'm a little confused. I'll tell you the truth, because I'm trying to figure out whether we should listen anymore to the Labour Party people. Because how can you believe them when they told you the guy is bad, and now they're telling you that you are treating the man like he's a bad guy? Folks, I don't know about you, but this sounds like confusion in my mind. I don't know for yours. Maybe you understand what is happening here, but I'm trying to figure it out. They told us the guy is bad. Get rid of him. He's the worst. The worst. You guy, you flabos. You refuse to take action. And if it was in another country, this man would have been gone. But now you are saying to flabos, shut up. This is our best guy. A matter of fact, you guys don't support Mr. Kenny Anthony like you're supporting this bad guy, the guy that you said was bad. At least Mr. Kenny Anthony went mute. Other SLP ministers went mute because they can't say much. And when they sit in cabinet with him, they got to just dance to that music. Not that they want to dance, you know. Some of them are scared for their lives. They don't want any mepwe. Or they don't want their private business to be leaked by a friend of a friend of a friend of their camawad. Maybe friend of the friend. So let me show you, take you back in history. And this is what we're going to do tonight. Let's go in history, and then we will wheel and come again. We're coming straight forward to the reality. And I want to remind you, St. Lucians, that you are not all crazy. Well, some of you are a little cuckoo, but not all, no. Yes, they told you he was bad. They're the ones. They're the ones who assassinate this guy and are pretending like he is the best Santa Claus in history. Listen, my friends, to your Labour Party.
The Constitution of St. Lucia do not make it mandatory and does not request that any member seeking a seat in the parliament must have a visa.
This is the statement which triggered a response from rival SLP candidate Dr. Ubaldus Raymond. Dr. Raymond accused Prime Minister King of trivializing the Richard Frederick visa revocation issue. The big issue at stake as far as Dr. Raymond is concerned is how this visa revocation will impact on St. Lucia as a whole in terms of its future relationship with the United States.
I, like many, watched the political masquerade this past Sunday and was truly taken aback when I heard Prime Minister regurgitate the same senseless statements first uttered by Frederick's party operatives. You do not require a visa to be a parliamentary representative. As if this was the point. For those who seek to promote Prime Minister King's irresponsible rhetoric on such an important matter, let me make a few things clear. 1. As declared on the U.S. State Department website, revocation of a diplomatic visa is considered by America itself to be an action that it does not take lightly.
Dr. Raymond also accused the Prime Minister and Mr. Frederick of misleading the public and claiming that they did not have any prior knowledge of the visa revocation. According to reports cited by the SLP, both Mr. Frederick and the Prime Minister were notified of the revocation since August 5th this year. Dr. Raymond fears that some St. Lucian nationals seeking a U.S. visa during the apparent 6 weeks of silence may have suffered as a result.
How many nationals will continue to fall victim to a UWP-created scandal just so Prime Minister King can execute some selfish political strategy? I am not comfortable with Richard Frederick's reputation tainting my own. I am not comfortable with Richard Frederick's reputation tainting the reputation of our people. And I am not comfortable with Richard Frederick's reputation tainting the reputation of my country, St. Lucia.
Dr. Raymond says he's not comfortable with Mr. Frederick's reputation tainting that of the country. For the DBS News World, I am Don Nicholas reporting.
All right, folks. That was not that was not the United Workers Party. All right? So let's go to another clip.
To be accountable and should therefore not be given another opportunity to govern the island. He says Dr. Anthony's leaderships and capabilities are also being questioned by Labour Party supporters.
One of the strongest supporters of the St. Lucia Labour Party, who lives in Atlanta, Tony Nicholas, once told Kenny Anthony, you are not fit for office. Nicholas Joseph, I stand corrected. 2 weeks ago, he wrote another article and he said to Kenny, you should have done the honorable thing about after 2006, resign. He went on to say it is not too late. But he said, when it comes to corruption, he says nothing about that in relation to Kenny Anthony. But when it comes to mismanagement, put Kenny Anthony on the top shelf.
Mr. Frederick also took a swipe at the opposition leader for his style of management.
I'll tell you this, Dr. Kenny Anthony. As I said, when it comes to Stevenson King, he's a man. You, Dr. Kenny Anthony, you are a pathological, compulsive, blatant liar, deceiver. Kenny, tonight I call you a categorical, compulsive, pathetic, categorical liar. Kenny, you are a mighty deceiver. You have deceived the House on more than one occasion. And I'll not tell you, take me to court. I'm no master. Do as you please.
The Housing and Urban Renewal Minister expressed curiosity at several issues.
Kenny Anthony fired 3 senators. Not because they oppose him, because they simply requested more information. You fired them, Kenny, didn't you? But tell us, how come Earl Huntley disposed of the government property in New York and he said in court that you did not know and you didn't fire him? Is it because he said you asked him to keep Greenberg a secret? Do you all have other secrets?
Mr. Frederick and Dr. Anthony are arch political rivals. Reporting for the DBS News World, I am Cecil Actel.
Whoa, well, please, it's not me, St. Lucians. It's not me. I mean, we got to listen to a few more. And I mean, I have a list of them that I found. And we're going to have, not fun, we're just going to allow Mr. Frederick and the SLP to just talk to us. Just talk to us for a while. Let's give them some time so that they can remind us why we should never listen to either of these fellas. Either of them. Because Richard told us Kenny is messed up, and the SLP told us Richard is messed up and we should not have him in our politics. So I don't know what changed there, but let's listen a little more. And I'm doing this because I've listened to a number of SLP supporters who have been saying to us that you guys are after the man and this is the best guy, this is the best man in the world, but that's not what you told us. Whatever seed that you sowed in the heads of the Flabeaus, That is what they're going on now. You told them that. Remember, they were defending the guy. But you said you had so much evidence and everything and blah, blah, blah. So we are just reminding you folks 13 years ago of what you told us. With the hope, by the way, at the end of the show, that you will say to us that you lied on him and that you have already apologized to Mr. Frederick. That's the intention. Reconciliation. So that you can say to us so that we can free our minds. That St. Lucians can free Mr. Frederick in their minds, because you would have said to us, the people, that we were wrong, we misled you, we lied on him, and we have already apologized in private to the gentleman. That's the intention. But let's go forward.
These are the reasons why the U.S. would revoke a U.S. diplomatic visa. Terrorist activity, drug trafficking, human trafficking, money laundering. Which one of these applies to Richard Frederick? Stevenson King says this is not serious. We know it is serious. Let's put an end to this embarrassment. Vote for the St. Lucia Labour Party.
Hello. Don't come for me. All right? This is what you told us, friends. This is not me, you know. I'm just replaying. I'm not adding anything. I have done nothing to the tapes. I am just replaying what you told us. And as I said, I'm hoping that you say something different to us after tonight's show, so that all the people can have total respect for Mr. Frederick. You guys can just put this whole whatever you said in the past, you can put it to rest now, because you would have already apologized to the man, and you would have said to us, the people, just drop it. It's not true. What we said, you know, we're accustomed to spreading lies and everything else, so don't say anything about our guy, all right? Just don't say anything about him anymore, because we you know, don't listen to us. You know, when we say our stuff, it's just maybe thing. You know, don't take it serious. Is that what you want us to believe? That what you're saying about people, Mr. Shastney and other people in the country, that is just maybe and nothing to it and nothing wrong. You know, the people, these are good people. We will love them to be on our side. We love them to be in our cabinets at some point. We just love you, you know, now. You know, we were lying on you, so don't worry. We love you now. Oh. Why are you taking it so serious, oh? Huh? People are confused, and that's the truth. And there must be reconciliation in this matter.
The Richard Frederick visa revocation issue was again raised by Dr. Kenny Anthony. The Prime Minister was addressing the Labour Party's annual conference. Now, Castry Central MP Richard Frederick has called on Dr. Anthony to produce the information about the revocation of his diplomatic and visitors' visas by the U.S. government last year. The Castry Central MP, who was Housing Minister at that time, was forced to resign as a result of the scandal.
If Dr. Kenny Anthony knows that there will be developments, because he was at the embassy with Lacobinia, if he knows there will be developments, then one has to assume, it is reasonable to assume, that he knows the reason why my visa was revoked. He alleged on a political platform that it was because I was encountered with a briefcase containing some over $300,000 US. He said so. He's now in a position to give credibility to himself.
Mr. Frederick lashed out at the island's Home Affairs Minister, who he claims had some part to play in the visas being revoked.
Lacobinia, as Attorney General, went to the embassy not realizing that at some point the statement will be released, said that I was using St. Lucia as a transshipment point for drugs from Colombia to distribute throughout the region. Lacobinia has to lend credibility to himself as well. So those guys need to stop the politicking. If they want to say something, come with the evidence, say what you say, substantiate it, but get on with the business of running the country and stop lying to the general populace.
Mr. Frederick says Dr. Anthony must know that St. Lucians are anxious to receive the findings of his government on the matter, and such information should include the reasons for the visa revocation. Reporting for the DBS News World, I am Cecil Actil.
So again, that's not Caribbean American News. That is a report at the time from, I believe it was DBS. All right. So let us continue with some other reminders. Now, most of you would have heard this whole SLP government on the healthcare system. As a matter of fact, let's just go back to Kenny Anthony a while on Mr. Frederick. Let's just do this, all right? Okay, so we're getting there, folks. We're moving along very smoothly. All right? So I did a search trying to get some stuff that the SLP would have accused the gentleman on, and hope that I would have come across a statement where they would have apologized to him, but I have not found any. That's the truth of my research. I was hoping that there was something there documented in the archives saying that they apologized to him, and here's the evidence that we lied on the brother and what we said about him was just politics and was not true. I did not find anything, friends. I did not. So let's go forward from Kenny Anthony, Mr. Kenny Anthony.
The leader of the opposition Labour Party says there are people who do not want the press to publish what some consider classified by online whistleblower site WikiLeaks. Dr. Anthony was reading from a paper which details concerns of the late Sir John Compton regarding Housing Minister Richard Frederick.
Nothing that Frederick hoped to gain a cabinet portfolio dealing with internal security or communication. Compton acknowledged that he personally blocked Frederick's appointment to positions in which he would have access to information about air and seaports. Citing Frederick's strong support in the ghetto, instead Compton put him in charge of housing.
Dr. Anthony says after general elections, Rufus Bousquet went to the U.S. Embassy in Barbados and pleaded with U.S. officials not to make public that he went to jail.
Bousquet chose to deny his previous arrest, upon which the NIS officer found Bousquet permanently ineligible for a U.S. visa. Bousquet's chief concern was his arrest and visa history becoming public knowledge in St. Lucia by an indiscreet correspondence from the embassy.
The other classified matter, Dr. Anthony says, involved Janine Compton Antoine, where she disclosed that the Taiwanese provided each government MP US $1 million, which were designed for development projects. Dr. Anthony also referred to a mission on which the documents claim that Janine Antoine was sent.
I wanted to read one to you, where King sends Janine to the American embassy to ask the American embassy information about Richard Frederick and Bousquet. They actually sent her when King thought that Richard Frederick and Bousquet would not support him. He sent Janine Compton to the U.S. Embassy to go and find out from the Americans what they have on Richard Frederick and Rufus Bousquet.
Dr. Anthony had to be asked by the police to put last night's meeting to an end, but before he left, he told the gathering that he will leave the rest for later regarding other secret information. Reporting for the DBS News World, I am Cecil Actil.
Folks, I'm telling you, these politicians are a bunch of jokers. All these serious accusations on the gentleman, none of them have closed the case, to come to the people. It wasn't true. No, nothing. Instead, they want us to just act as though we never heard. But here is a psychological game. They are turning the table at us to say to us that we are the ones after an honorable man in the country when they labeled him as dishonorable. They labeled him as not honorable. In the last elections, they brought him into the honorable house in their honorable cabinet and said to us, he's good now. He's good now because he's with us. So he's no longer what we said in the past. I guess that's how we got to interpret this whole deal. They told us that. So my question again to you, St. Lucians, can we trust anything that some of these people are saying to us? Think about it. And don't you realize that they tried to do the very same thing to Alan Chastney? Very same thing. He's the worst. He should not be in the politics of St. Lucia. He should be deported to Martinique, Canada, America, somewhere in the world. He's not fit to be in St. Lucia. He don't like St. Lucians. He's the worst of the worst things that we can think of. Remember? Sounds familiar? So my question again to the SLP, do you want to issue a statement in correction of what you said to us? And don't believe it just goes away because of time. And no, this is very serious. If you guys misled St. Lucians on Mr. Frederick, then you owe it to come back to the citizens and say to them, we were wrong, we lied on him, and we want to say to you, you got to drop it. Any one of you want to say that? So don't come and accuse the flobbers when they ask questions, or they ask Mr. Frederick to account as a minister, or they criticize him as a minister. I'm not going to criticize the man on his personal look, or I won't do that. I will hold him accountable. I will ask him questions about his stewardship, his management. But you told us you went after the man in every way and form and shape. You even went on a plane at the embassy. Yeah? So I'm Miss Compton and all those people. You guys know what is happening. You got to tell us that we should drop it. You should. Because I'm not saying Frederick is a perfect guy, What I'm saying is that Mr. Frederick is snapping at everyone who mentions his name or question him, rather. He snaps at them. So my question is Mr. Frederick snapping at people because he is still hurt? Is he still snapping because of the effects of what the Labour Party did to him? And so he's just snapping all over the place like a snapped turtle? I'm just asking for, not a friend, I'm asking for people Guess what I heard in Dennery tonight? I heard them, Mr. Musa, trying to play with the name of Rush Clark. Is Mr. Clark a threat to anyone? I'm just asking for the UWP, if you wish. I mean, I'm just asking the question. Tiger Friend will be right back after this break, all right? Tiger Friend, Shed Alive.
At Palette Pleasure, located Ogier Vieux Fort, we take pride in our ability to cater to a wide range of events and occasions, whether it's a joyous celebration like a birthday, anniversary, wedding, or graduation, or a more somber gathering such as a funeral or first communion. We are dedicated to providing exquisite culinary offerings to suit each unique event. Our diverse menu includes offerings such as funeral treat boxes and treat boxes for all other occasions, ensuring that we can provide comfort and support during difficult times, as well as enhance the festivities during happier moments. In addition, we offer prepackaged meals designed for all occasions, ensuring that the food at your event is not only delicious but also convenient. Call us today at 758733335 for your finger-licking and palatable foods.
All right, and we are back. Thank you for viewing us on GVD TV channel 115. Those of you on our YouTube channel and our Facebook channel, we want to welcome you to the platform. So I continue with my questions for answers. We continue with our questions for answers. So, yes, those are the questions. Those are the questions. So let's go now to the St. Lucia Labour Party on healthcare, and that is about 13 years ago. All right, so we're going back in time. This is not a time machine, but it is always good to go back and do some refreshes in preparation for the challenge that is before us, and that is propaganda, misinformation that will pop out from this desperate party. Let's listen to the government, the SLP rather, on healthcare, their promises to the people of St. Lucia.
Should it be returned to office, the St. Lucia Labour Party is promising to provide affordable, quality health care to St. Lucians as it insists on reviving universal health care, which it started in its last term. The SLP has also pledged to provide incentives to health insurance providers to reduce the cost of health insurance. The SLP also plans to redevelop the Soufrière and Dennery hospitals, as well as the Grosile Polyclinic.
During our previous term in government, the St. Lucia Labour Party made significant improvement to healthcare in our country. We eliminated doctors' fees at health centers and refurbished 15 health centers around the island. With the help of the government of Cuba, we provided free eye surgery to over 2,000 persons.
As the Labour Party puts it, good governance should be the order of the day to facilitate a more efficient healthcare system.
As a healthcare practitioner myself for many years, I know too well the challenges of our system, and I have always been a firm believer that with good policies and the will of a committed government, our healthcare system can become far more efficient.
For his part, SLP candidate for ancillary canneries Dr. Desmond Long highlighted the need for more medical practitioners.
Healthcare is too important to every St. Lucian to be as less than a priority as obtains under the current government. I am part of a team committed and determined to make good on our promise of making universal healthcare a reality. Every St. Lucian has the right to quality health care.
The Victoria Hospital in particular has been plagued by a number of problems, including understaffing. For the DBS News World, I am Don Nicholas reporting.
Now, this is a report from, like I said to you, 13 years ago. At that time, the United Workers' Party, they were in government. And this Labour Party found all the issues. They knew the issues. They were able to identify them. Oh, yeah, they were like police problem. I mean, they were like detectives looking all over in the healthcare system for problems. All of a sudden, the SLP is in power, and all the cries of the people are not real. Everything is good. It was the UWP who caused all the problems. Every time the United Workers' Party gets into power, the Labour Party blames them for all the problems in the healthcare system. And you heard them with their lip service, you know. Yeah, we refurbish and we do this and we did all that, buildings and... But you can't get medication in the buildings that they paid. We left a plan to open the OKEU. We left a plan and they didn't use the plan. Instead, they paid millions of dollars to people out there to come in, foreigners, assassinate a friend. They paid them millions of dollars to come in and help to organize the hospital. And if you listen to them, those of you who are victims of these those of you friends who have suffered, your families who have suffered at the hand of a healthcare system. There has never been a time in the history of St. Lucia where we have seen our healthcare system in such a state. And not only we have seen it in such a state, but the government is saying to you, everything is fine. Doctors leave, they say to you, well, we give the doctors all that they needed, but they did not renew their contract, their contract with us. So they just left. Everything was good because we give them everything. So there was no problem. There was no reason for them to leave because we had already given them everything. My question is, what everything have you given to them when the doctors can't even get a glove to put on their hands? They got to be hiding gloves. Can't get supplies, but you're saying that you have given to the officials, the medical officials, all. And that's what Musa said tonight in Dennery. The government met the Prime Minister, he said, and I quote, met with the professionals and give them all that they requested. Tut bagay, everything they got. So my question is to Musa, are you saying to us that the doctors did not ask for medication for the patients? Are you saying to us, Mr. Musa, that the government did not ask for masks and for gloves and for tools or equipment to treat or to take care of the citizens of the country? Are you saying that everything that they asked for, they got, but they did not ask for medications and supplies? Is that what you're saying to us? Because if you're saying they got all that they requested, and the people are still complaining that there is no medication, there is no supplies, then I pray that we do not have to treat this new health problem like we treat Mr. Frederick, based on what you said to us. We are very suspicious at this time of what you said to us. Remember, you told us Richard is bad, and then we see something else, and now you're telling us that the doctors got all that they requested, but there is no supplies at the hospital. I heard a story, and let me see if I can find it. let's see if we can find it. Just bear with me, folks. Let's see if I can find it. So I'm going to go out of my vault, my cyber vault, and I'm going to go back into something else here to see if I can pull up an elderly man. I believe it was Mr. Charles, Marvin Charles, who had a conversation with an elderly man who needed help. Just bear with me, folks. Bear with us. Our studio is a little thing here, so let's go over to this report from Marvin Charles. I believe sometime today. Someone sent it to me tonight. So we're going to look at it and see what's going on here. All right? We don't understand what it is yet, but let's look at it and see if it has anything to do with healthcare, elderlies, because they said to us that elderlies are getting all the care. And by the way, Musa said in Dennery that very soon men should go and get a prostate check, and that's a true thing. But he said, yes, we have given free health care to men and women, and we extend to everybody get free health. Everything is coming. Just, y'all, we have universal health, It is started. So let's see if this senior citizen is the recipient of good health care based on Mr. Musa Malmené de Cervelle of DENNERY. All right?
Him, but I came to a business establishment and I found him there, Ponchard. What we have been speaking about, sick people, people die, people have been left to fend for themselves. And I met this gentleman, this elderly man, where they say free health care, and he's there fighting for his free health care. My friends, he will introduce himself. Il kay di zoyan kweyol, parce que ça c'est langue nou. Il kay di moun zoki mouni ye, koy sorti e ki sa, il ka fe pisit like, si ya hen help, or poko hen help. Alright, ça c'est premier jour mwen hen misye ya. Et le di mwen story, mwen di mwen ni pou fe, set lisyen sa, ki kalte gouvernement nou ni. Mon après-midi, monsieur, est-ce que ça dit nous non, que quand on sorti, tout bagaille?
Monsieur Maurice, puis lui, je sorti DENNERY.
Oui.
Austin Hill. Mais mon petit l'hôpital avec docteur, un papier, pour me faire un déduit. Avec mon haïtapie, on m'a fait so yo di mo ko hapo vini miku la na ti manam ka try when mi bana because mo cousin déduit ça là commence à faire
biopsy. OK. Mama said this is monsieur akadizo odia pour ça un traitement ini pour acheter aujourd'hui, right? Yo voye tapillon because yo ni pour faire biopsy bali. Yo pani, yo bali papier ya, pour y acheter 11 juillet, pour y ça faire un biopsie. Si monsieur ya malade sorti jusqu'au te kakoui tout partout, y a les tapillons, la pani juillet. Actuellement, monsieur ya kakoui tout partout, gade si kay sa hen, yon moun orda, Jésus-ya, special Jésus-ya bali, pour y ça faire biopsie ya. Qui moun qui a représenté ou en Valia ou d'où sorti Sean Edwards? Est-ce Sean Edwards connaît tout? Est-ce ou quoi il y a d'où sous aller demander aide? OK. Bon, est-ce ou qu'a supporté? Est-ce qu'ils savent qui partout qu'a supporté? So qui partout qu'a supporté? So, il connaît tout bien. Et Jean Valia savent qui moun. So c'est pour ça, est-ce que vous comprenez? Mais moi tout apé ça ka crasé chez moi ma connaît tout et que là moi vinn place like moi ton et moi ou double pla ou juste vali a calé tout tapillon ou vié ka marcher tout partout ka try à changer lui mi tout papier est-ce que vous comprenez moi mi tout papier Docteur yon mi tout papier. Oui, pardon, mi tout papier docteur monsieur en la main. Pour chi, yon gouvernement ni pour faire moun odi en cette lisi. Pour ni a biopsie en cette lisi. Ou ni pour mener on ou. Ça c'est un shame, an embarrassment on this island. So the mister, if he don't get, because when the mister asks the person to get the thing online, you know he's so desperate. He have to go and order this. So they ask him, when do you want it? He say, if I can get it tomorrow. Si mwen sa yon ide mwen kay vle. C'est pour ça Marvin Charles ka advocate by se moun sa la ki pa ni envoi. Ek misye yon ko di pe parce qu'il pa vle mette koridor wala pour yo victimize li. This is wrong. Why should an elderly go through all of those things for medical treatment? Today, a government who is boasting they can go on a plane. An elderly man is here today trying to get a needle, a special needle for his biopsy. Do you believe this is right?
All right, so we are going to hold on that. So this is ridiculous what I'm hearing here. Now, remember what I'm saying to you, friends. The St. Lucia Labour Party, they were in Dennery tonight, saying to Dennerians that everything is well, all is well, we're doing good. Because Flabber was messed up and we're doing good. And we have universal health care. Here is an elderly man having to go and buy needles so that he can get a procedure done, a biopsy. Do you understand what is happening here, folks? So, listen again. We were told universal health care in Dennery, everything is well, nothing to see here, Shastney left a bill. Then we were told by Musa that Prime Minister met with the doctors of OKEU and gave them all that they requested. All that they requested. But here is an elderly man. Folks, this is breaking my heart. This is hurtful. This is... Let's take a break. We'll be right back, folks.
At Great Vision Designs, we value our customers and provide cutting-edge customer service. Great Vision Designs specializes in television broadcasting and live streaming of funerals, sports events, weddings, meetings, shows, and more. Call us today at 722-6542 or 726-9914 or follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Great Vision Designs, coverage you can count on.
All right, folks, we're back. We're back. Thank you so much. I needed that break. Even as presenters, we sometimes, we need the break. We really need it. Folks, I can't believe an elderly man needing a procedure is walking up and down. Now you think the health system and the professionals would try to source the thing for this elderly, not just send him on a wild goose chase to go. And let me ask this question. Now, you people in Dennery South, you better watch yourself. Don't allow this nonsense to play in your head. Don't you ever forget. Don't you ever forget. Don't you dare forget. Going forward, people like this man and others who maybe have died because they could not have walked up and down or even have the money to source. And may I ask the question here? I want to ask this question. Who are the owners of these businesses that import these medical devices and tools and equipments and syringes and all the medical surgical stuff that people got to pay for? Who, my question is, in St. Lucia, are the ones who import them and sell them to the citizens? Who? We need to find out who they are. Because Musa said that the government went into a contract with a private individual for scans, medical procedures. I want to know who are the ones who are importing medical devices in the country to sell to our citizens, especially our senior citizens. Who? Somebody got to answer that question. Who is benefiting off the backs of poor men and women like this gentleman? And you can see the man need to get a procedure. He's afraid. You can see the man is desperate. Who in the country are benefiting off of the backs? And why do we not have these equipment at our hospitals? And why in Dennery, Mr. Musa is saying, come and get checked. Now, how do you get a biopsy when you go to get checked? And this man need a biopsy when you go to get checked out. At the universal healthcare, according to Musa, how many St. Lucian men with prostate issues have to walk up and down St. Lucia looking for a needle? When Musa just moments ago in Dennery says to St. Lucians, the men, go to the hospital, go and get checked out free. We get free universal, free scans everywhere, free. But here's a man walking up and down to get a needle, to get a biopsy done. What? I need a break, folks. We'll be right back.
At Great Vision Designs, we value our customers and provide cutting-edge customer service. Great Vision Designs specializes in television broadcasting and live streaming of funerals, sports events, weddings, meetings, shows, and more. Call us today at 722-6542 or 726-9914, or follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Great Vision Designs, coverage you can count on.
Folks, I'm back. I'm not even sure if I can continue the show. I'll do my best because this is upsetting. It's annoying. I spoke to somebody, I don't want to call their name, in St. Lucia, trying to get medical intervention for an 80-year-old, having to pay for everything, scans, they got to up and down, back and forth, no space, people got to wait in the car. These are stories that are real. This is not Jumbie story. I have a family who said that to me. We took the guy, the brother to the hospital. He's 80. Then he has to wait in the car, blah, 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 and this and that. We have to buy everything. We have to pay for everything, even a plaster. We got to... And a party is in Dennery telling you, St. Lucians, that all is well. That all is well. St. Lucians, I want you to stay focused. Those of you under the live, don't be distracted for a moment. I'm trying to focus on this show here. Very important show. Don't allow anybody. Hacks are going to come. You don't have to take them on. Let them hack. You know, one of these days they will stop hacking, of course. You know, because life is funny, friends. Life is funny. And I always say to us that it is only when we ourselves are affected by inadequate health care, bad roads, or some policies of government, until we ourselves or our families get caught up in it, then we will stop the hacking and be real with what is happening in the nation. And if people are not agitating for good health care, and when you agitate, they say to you that you're not good and you're the worst and you're a dog and blah, 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 then what am I doing here, folks? We have a problem, Captain. And if people, when I speak to people, they're having an issue when they go for health intervention, but then the government is saying, approaching an elections, they're saying to the people, everything is good. We have given all the equipment. Crime is a mess. And they're saying to us, we give everything. We give everything. But you're losing your loved ones. And all they're saying to you, friends, is that we're the most ready. We give, we're the only ones who have given. And if you listen to them, it sounds like they're the only ones who have built hospitals in the country. The only ones who have built schools in the country. If you listen carefully. Folks, I'm just going to try my best to keep myself together. Because I understand what you're going through. Because I had conversations this week with real individuals, not fake, real individuals who have had to had their family in a car waiting in the vehicle. No beds, no this and no that. So don't be distracted by Bernard Haynes. Bernard Haynes should not be doing what he's doing right now. He should be agreeing with me that we have a problem. He should be the one agreeing with me that we have a problem. Now let me go over to just a minute. I'll come back to thing. Let me just listen. Remember, we go back in times. Let's go back a little bit so that I can free my mind, because the healthcare situation, friends, I'm getting sick just talking about it, and I think I need to take a break. It's got to be sick just speaking about it. Let's go to the SLP on crime. Okay? This is 13 years ago. 13 years ago, friends.
Meanwhile, opposition leader Dr. Kenny Anthony has called for a major overhaul of the police high command as part of efforts to bring down the crime rate. Dr. Anthony spoke at a political meeting of the Labour Party last evening. Here is DBS's Jason Hunningseed with more.
According to Dr. Anthony, crime has been the biggest failure of the government, and he believes that part of tackling the issue of crime is a radical overhaul of the police high command and police force.
So if we want to tackle crime, one of the first things that we have to do is to deal with the gangs head on. But go and ask the Royal St. Lucia Police Force whether they have a specialized unit inside the police force to deal directly with the gangs. Murders in Jamaica declined after the Dudas affair. One of the reasons for that was they created...
Okay, folks, let me just have a conversation for a minute with Mr. Anthony. Just 1 minute, sir. Now, I respect you as an elderly statesman, but let's have a conversation for a minute, huh? And I'm doing this out of respect to you, sir. When the Honorable Alan Shaste took over the reins of government from you, sir, do you remember that the radar system was down? I'm just asking questions. Maybe I'm not up to date on the truth around that. Maybe not. So let me just ask some questions. Under your stewardship as Prime Minister of St. Lucia, why was the radar system down? Question. Why were the Coast Guard, the boats, the vessels sitting there without engines? 3. Why were the scanners at our ports not working? Seeing that you and your party have all the answers to all the problems in the country. You have the solution for healthcare, you have the solution for crime. While you have all these solutions for crime, crime is at its worst. While you have all the answers for healthcare is at a breaking point. My question is, sir, seeing that you have all the answers to the problems in our nation, why did we not have a radar system functioning? Why? Question. Why was the morale of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force at an all-time low? Why? Why? I'm asking the pertinent questions tonight. And I am hoping now my administrators will put Bernard on timeout for a while. Now, don't put him on a timeout from all the lives. Just suspend him so that at least our audience can focus on these very important matters. Let's not ban him, but let us just ban him from this stream. Okay, so yes, you can ban him, Mr. Technical people over there in India. I'm asking you to, Bernard Haynes is the name, just suspend him for this show so that at least we can have this very important discussion. Don't delete him, don't remove him, just ban him. All right? He's a good guy. He loves his country, but he's on the wrong side of all the arguments. So just give our people a rest so that we can deal with these serious matters that are affecting the people of this country. And that's what we're going to be doing going forward. We'll be asking our administrators there in India who are managing the platform to please, his name is Bernard Haynes. All right, so thank you so much. Good. So let's get back to, because I don't want the people to be distracted with Haynes, Good. So let's just go. He can watch it from somebody else's phone line. If he's in St. Lucia, he can go on to GVD TV, channel 115, and have a look at the program there. So I'm asking Mr. Former Prime Minister Anthony all the answers. And this is him trying to gain the reins of power in the country at the time. Everything is bad. We got to do this. We got to do this. All the answers. We got to do this with the police force, the high commands. We got to change them. And rather that we got to do. And still we are forming the fool with the police force. We have government ministers going online and telling the police what to do. We have government ministers who are saying in public to the Prime Minister and the Commissioner to do something, and before you know it, you see police all over the place giving people tickets who don't even deserve to get a ticket in the country, walking around just trying to show that we are working, Mr. Frederick. We're working. Now, if the Prime Minister have done that, you would see no movement in the country. So who is the real Prime Minister? Now, it would have been even great if the Prime Minister had gone on national television and say what Mr. Frederick said in a different way. Say to the police, do whatever you can immediately. I'm giving you public instructions. Clean up Castries and clean it up now. If he had done it, then it comes with weight. But when Mr. RF, who is not the Minister of National Security, would shout commands, not only commands to the Commissioner, but commands to the Prime Minister, the Minister of National Security. And by the time you check your Facebook feed, you're seeing police all over the place. What is going on in the country? Are we going back to the era of two prime ministers, Kenny and Tony? Are we going back into those eras, my friends, of two prime ministers running the country? You remember the song, Kenny and Tony? What is going on here, friends? What is happening? So let's listen to Mr. Kenny Anthony.
The Jamaican Police Force, a specialized unit to focus on the gangs. We are in a new age.
The appointment of police selective committees within communities which will monitor the work of police officers are part of the SLP's plan to deal with the issue of crime. The opposition leader also spoke of the alleged altercation between Prime Minister Stephenson King and the Housing Minister Richard Frederick.
Why is it coming from the members of the police force? Why? Why is it that the rumor started in the bowels of the police force? Why? Because they were ashamed? Because they were ashamed? I'm not saying that Richard Frederick slapped Stephenson King. I'm not saying Richard Frederick punched Stephenson King. All I'm saying is that I've never seen a man move with such speed to defend himself.
Dr. Anthony questions the reason why the government, according to him, wants to only discuss crime now on the eve of a general election. For the DBS News World, Jason Hollandseed reporting.
Okay, it's funny. Can you never see somebody moving so at speed? So sorry, that one is it has a light moment. That one was actually, a funny one. Honestly, that one give me a little. Oh my Lord. Okay, so let's do a little more. Just bear with me, folks. This one is funny. Let's go to the SLP again and listen to what they're saying.
Political parties have been blaming each other for the delay of the opening of the St. Jude and Owen King EU hospitals. Thursday morning, SLP spokesman Moses Jean-Baptiste chided the government for the state of the healthcare system, saying it's the worst in St. Lucia's history.
Never before have we had it so bad. Any parliamentarian who holds constituency office hours and is in touch with his or her constituents will tell you that our people are desperate for better health care. And so we expected that thousands of St. Lucians would rush.
So let's we'll play that back. But this is he was in opposition there, but now he's the one responsible for health care. He's the Minister of Health. Mr. Musa, in opposition, is saying that the healthcare was at its worst in history. The worst. And if the ministers would be listening, going to their offices in the different communities, they would hear. So I'm asking Mr. Musa, are you going to your office? Or are your ministers going to their offices to listen to the people? Do you not get reports, Mr. Musa? It is only when you're in opposition you get reports? Or you get requests? I'm just trying to figure out the hypocrisy of a nation. I call it a nation, not even the politicians, the hypocrisy of a nation. You say one thing in opposition, when you get into power, all of a sudden, overnight, everything changes. So, you know, healthcare was at its worst. If the ministers were listening, hello, people are talking. There's a man who needs a needle. He's walking up and down from your constituency, Mr. Otherman, Sean. There are people all over St. Lucia who are waiting for procedures. They have no money. They're raising funds. Are you listening, sir? What have changed? Oh, I'm sorry. Healthcare is at its best. It is better than ever before in the history of the country. Is that what you're saying? Let's listen a little more at the hypocrisy and double standard of a nation.
There seems to be no end to St. Lucia's health crisis. Both political parties have been blaming each other for the delay of the opening of the St. Jude and Owen King EU hospitals. Thursday morning, SLP spokesman Moses Jean-Baptiste chided the government for the state of the healthcare system, saying it's the worst in St. Lucia's history.
Never before have we had it so bad. Any parliamentarian who holds constituency office hours and is in touch with his or her constituents will tell you that our people are desperate for better health care. And so we expected that thousands of St. Lucians...
So you guys are not desperate anymore, St. Lucians. Everything is fine. You have the best healthcare system. I would have to agree with the Prime Minister, with the Minister of Health, because none of you speaking, just a few of you speaking, and he's saying everything is good. So if he's saying everything is good, then I'm saying everything is good too. I mean, you're not speaking.
Replaced. It is even more alarming that the Health Minister, Senator Mary Isaac, continues to be largely absent in the fight for better health care for the benefit of all St. Lucians. The Minister has not addressed the key and burning concerns of St. Lucians and has not provided the leadership which a sector in major crisis requires and deserves.
Mr. Jean-Baptiste was speaking at an SLP press conference. For the DBS News World, I am Don Nicholas.
Okay, Don, don't go yet. Don't go, Don. There's something here I want to hear that I think I miss. Go ahead.
We'll tell you that our people are desperate for better health care, and so we expected that thousands of St. Lucians would rush to receive free medical care. As a party, we were very clear that once the Ministry of Health had cleared the ship, we would not discourage St. Lucians from seeking free and advanced health care.
Mr. Jean-Baptiste also called for Health Minister Mary Isaac to be replaced.
It is even more alarming that the Health Minister, Senator Mary Isaac, continues to be largely absent.
So Musa is largely present. And Musa is asking at the time for Mary Isaac to be removed, replaced. My question is, Mr. Musa, who is asking for you to be replaced? Because it took you guys a letter from the doctors, the Medical and Dental Association. It took you guys a letter from the doctors threatening you guys, exposing you guys, because you were basically absent with all the issues at the OKU hospital. People on the floor, no medication, doctor suffering from fatigue, the nurses are in a mess, the patient, everything can't get bed, and all the confusion there. You, sir, were basically absent. You're absent to all the concerns, all the problems in the healthcare situation. Hey, Mr. Musa, we got you. So my question is, sir, who now is asking for you to be replaced? Because it took a letter from the association to have you guys to run and find a few $1 million to throw at them to tell them, shut up, don't talk, let's talk in private, oh. What you all want? You all want bread and cheese? You all want some, what you all want? Tell us, we give it to you all, oh. You want Kentucky? What you want? Tell us. Because surely no medication was received. Surely no equipment, no, what you call it, no Band-Aid, no plasters, no socks, no bed sheets. No medication, no supplies. So what did you give them? KFC? So you need to resign, sir. But I forgot. There is no emergency in this country. Everything is fine. The healthcare system is okay. It's the best it has ever been. Nothing to see here. Don't listen to the noise those flabber keeping. They're just desperate for power. They're a bunch of losers. That's what you said in Dennery. It's just a bunch of losers talking. The things that they're saying, we're going to answer them now because we campaign now. Right now we're just trying to seek another victory. We're not protecting the victory anymore. We're done. We protect the victory already. We finished. So now we're just trying to get another one to protect. You know what to tell you? Protect the victory is another stipend, another special privilege, another pension, retirement, another building, another piece of land, that's what, when they protected victory, that's what them fellas are talking to you about, because if it was about health care, after 3 years, you would have gotten at least some medication, and the elderly gentleman, would at least get a needle at the hospital. Not running up and down for a biopsy. If the man have prostate, he can't even walk properly. Sometimes the man in pain, you have him running up and down looking for a needle. What you all going to do? Make people take their own, use other things to get their biopsy and bring it for you all? What are you going to tell them? Go and get bamboo stick and take their own biopsy and bring it for you all? That's what people will resort to because they have no money to get it? What kind of story is this? Mr. Musa, you're fired. Pack your bag. Gone. Healthcare is not to be played with. Gone. And by the way, I'm sure you would say to us that we have the best agriculture minister too. Yeah. All our bananas are being shipped. We just have a little problem with the oil, The oil will dry up a bit because of inflation or because of the fire in Los Angeles. The banana farmers can't get any oil to spray the leaves. The same problem that Mr. Musa, you remember Black Saratoga? That's him right there. This is it, Black Saratoga. The very same guy. Look him there. Look at him. Look at him, folks.
Of all St. Lucians. The minister has not addressed the burning concerns of St. Lucians and has not provided the leadership.
Brethren, the burning concern of the citizens of St. Lucia, Mr. Black Saratoga, endorsed by another Saratoga, because now we're hearing there is no oil and farmers are cutting their bananas and throw it down on the ground. A matter of fact, while they're cutting it, the ripe bananas are falling off the thing. They're ripening all. The things are ripening a sukote, one side ripe, another side hard. All kind of story going on, Mr. Black Saratogas. Oh, banana farmers are screaming for help, and they say, don't hurry. You know, they're doing them just like they did the EU workers, professionals. Don't worry, we'll give you some oil. Don't worry. By the time you get the oil, friends, all your bananas plateau, ain't it? But don't worry, we'll give you some oil. We have oil stored up for elections. Of course, you will get some. And that's what they're telling us, that we have the best of everything right now. The best crime management team. Best healthcare, the best banana industry, the best agricultural sector in the whole world is the best. You got to listen to a nation of hypocrites. And it's amazing how the tables turn so quickly. The same thing that he was talking about, healthcare system, he now had to manage it. And if you think it's Black Saratoga that is killing the healthcare, no, my friends. That is worse than Black Saratoga on the leaf spot disease. It's worse. Because when you cut a banana tree, it can sprout back up. But when somebody loses their life, friends, they're dead. And that is the mistake that we're making as a people. A man fail in agriculture, you put him in healthcare, what you expect? What you will consider the best of the best, ain't it? It's time for us to retire politicians who have failed the institutions of our government. It is time for us to retire them and bring people with vision, younger people who have the vision, they have the energy, they have the decency, they're just, you know, they're coofed. Not uncoofed, of course. They're not smucks. No. It's time for us to bring back leadership, friends. Because, I tell you, bananas ask the farmers, but they're in Dennery telling you we have the best. Alfred is the best, yeah? Anyway, let's look at one more, friends. Let's look at one more. I have them there. I'm not even going there. I want to listen to Buddy for a minute. Listen to Buddy for a minute, folks.
Blah, blah, blah.
Put down your hand,
never
Buddy.
Met
Talk.
her. Skinny never, and I'll show you all evidence of that in a while. Just hold on. Because you all know how I operate. I operate with evidence. If I met her on the street, she has to come and tell me she's Skinny wife and probably ask me if I remember. You know? And I heard a voice note of apparently saying is his son, Skinny's son. Skinny had introduced me to one son. And that is, he said the boy was a doctor. That's his son. The one that sent the voice note, if he's here, I wish he had shown his face. If he had shown his face, I would have shown his criminal conviction. You know why? One day, Angel called me. Richard looked Skinny dying there. What happened to him? They either he sent his son to Bordelais or they about sent. I can't remember well. Skinny needs $35,000. She matters. And I hope she's up. I hope she's tuned to her very quickly what the lady said to her.
He's calling the
Come on,
worker.
Natasha, answer the phone. Turn down the volume of your television, please.
Okay, I've done that.
Oh, you've done that. Okay, I don't want to keep you. You spoke to Skinny's wife, didn't you, after the whole incident?
Yes, I did that on the Monday.
On the Monday. What did she tell you in relation to living in the apartment?
Okay, she said that the apartment, she came in to assist her husband, Skinny, who is her husband, while he was sick. She was there on and off. She comes on the morning and takes care of him and goes to her home in Balata every evening.
Right. Did she not admit to you that she never lived there?
Yes, she either. She said she never lived in the CDC.
Very good. Now, further, why did she tell you? She said she wanted, what did she say about wanting an apartment?
She said the reason why she wants an apartment is because where she lives at Balata has termite infestation.
Very good. Okay.
So yeah.
Well, you know, folks. Okay, Natasha, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. But you know, you all heard. She never lived there. She wants an apartment because where she's living has termite infestation. And I'll show you all something in a while, because that's how I deal. I don't deal he say, they say, I see. I'll show you all something in a while. But shout to NHC on Skinny's need. Show the receipt. Look to the right.
Now, folks, St. Lucians, this is an official document with private information. It has a man's full name, his home address. It has his personal information on it. It also have a memo, $410, January to February 2025. This is, if you look at it, St. Lucia National Housing Corporation. This is the property of the St. Lucia government. Folks, that's why I say to you, this is the St. Lucia government transacting people's business online, publicly, on television. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, St. Lucians? This is a man's personal information being exposed by the government of St. Lucia. Now, I have a question. I'm not going to stay long on this, but I have a question, folks. Who is Natasha? We need to find out which agency of government this person is working with, and we got to speak to the age-relevant agencies of government to get this thing fixed immediately. This should not be left unpunished. I'm going to say it again. What happened in this clip should not go unpunished. That's for sure. This must be dealt with now, in a hurry, before there are other victims of this same situation. This got to be fixed. 2, we got to find out again, who is this Natasha? Is she working with the housing department? Who is this person? Not only that, if this Natasha, and I'm going to say it publicly, if, let's say, she's working in the housing department of the government of St. Lucia, Miss Natasha needs to be investigated immediately and need to be disciplined. If any rules at all were broken during this call on the Mister's program, buddy, this must not go unpunished. And you see how people's private business was being exposed while the UWP was in power. You realize somebody's document was always out. Look, you have it right there. There you have it in public, playing out. But some of you are asleep. You don't realize that is what's happening. Here is a leaker. Here is someone ready, quick, and in a hurry to publicly expose what should be private conversations with this organization, a department of government. Natasha need to answer if she is working at the NHC. We need to find out who is Natasha. Government do not transact personal business online. No government does it in the world. It only happens in St. Lucia. Don't happen in Jamaica or Trinidad. Oh, no. Does not happen in the Dominican Republic or the United States or any other country. Not even St. Vincent. Not even Grenada, Dominica, nowhere. Not even Barbados, nowhere outside of St. Lucia this happens. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, St. Lucians? Nowhere. Because first thing on Friday morning, somebody, an agency would have been investigating. Minister would have been called in by the Prime Minister. Sir, I need your resignation. This does not make sense. We do not attack the citizens of the country. Don't matter what they say about you. Don't matter what they do. We are public servants. We are not to bully the citizens of the country. Therefore, I need your resignation now. Other real countries, of course. But in Klung country, anything goes. It's the wild, wild west. Natasha. Are there any lawyers hearing me? Find out who is Natasha. Somebody who is Mr. Pear. Who is this that your government is exposing? Private information. She's not in the police force. Oh, no. So she has no files, big so. She might have closets of files. You know what? I'm going to take it on my own. I'm going to take it on my own and do what I have to do to find out who is Natasha. I'm going to make some calls and I'm going to find out who is this Natasha at NHC. Folks, trust me. I'm going to be back here to give you information on who Natasha is. No apologies will fix this. None at all. None. Watch this space. Folks, I'm not sure I want to take any calls tonight. I want you to rest. We've had a long run and my spirit is a little disturbed. I need to go and reflect and to pray. I pray for those who are needing medical care at this time and they're at a jam, they're trying to get medication and stuff. Folks, you be good to each other. Be good to each other, friends. And remember this: righteousness exalts your nation. This is unrighteousness. Let's get back to civility. Let's get back to truth and honesty. Let's get back to godliness and proper management in our nation. Be careful, St. Lucians. The silly season is officially open. You will hear the sweetest stories that have ever been told. And you will believe that you're in La La Land. You would want to know actually whether you're in Wonderland. Whether what you're feeling. When these guys finish with you, you will ask yourself, am I feeling what I'm feeling? Is my pocket really empty? You would ask yourself whether you sat on a chair at the hospital or whether you had to wait for the bed and whether you had to run up and down for medication. You will be asking yourself. did I go through what I went through when these people finished with you and your Seville. May God have mercy on us as a nation, friends. Hang in there, friends. Be good to your neighbor. Be good to each other. Remember the good. You do good and good will follow you. And remember that we got to give account for every secret things, everything that we have done in the flesh. We will have to account for it. So have a beautiful night, folks. And I'm not going to take any calls. I'm just going to take a break. All right?
Welcome to Caribbean American News Media State of the Nation with Garfield Oliver. The news you report, let's get to work.